From the leader post from the year 1982. Tenpins back in town. Once upon a time, it wasn't unusual to hear the sounds of tenpin bowling in this city. There seemed to be no shortage of players or lanes. But the interest, which was once as plentiful as rain in July, dropped off, and the result saw 10-pin lanes converted to 5-pin, and the sport soon became an endangered species on the sporting charts. For the past 6 years, 10-pin enthusiasts were forced to seek other means if they wanted to continue their love, travel to other communities, or take up 5-pin bowling. Today, the scene is a healthy one. In the east of Regina, raising like an ominous front of storm clouds ready to end the drought, comes the Glencairn bowling lanes. A 30-lane bowler's heaven, this pride and joy of owner Leonard Reinhorn returns 10-pin bowling to the sporting scene. Reinhorn, who also owns the Prairie and Nortown lanes, has been involved in bowling circles for the past 20 years or so, and he has seen 10-pin flourish, nearly die, and now revive itself. It's good to see that the sport is back, says Reinhorn, while the sounds of balls striking pins ring through his facility. There was a time where there were too many lanes and not enough people. Interest wasn't there, and it became uneconomical to operate the 10-pin lanes. With other communities turning 10-pin lanes to 5-pin, the lack of tournaments also escalated the sport's decline. Top competitors, many who hailed from Regina, were forced to take in out-of-province events. It was during that juncture where Reinhorn turned the Prairie Lane's 24 10-pin lanes into 5-pin lanes, leaving Regina with only 2 lanes at the Victoria Club. It was a tough decision, he says. Even with the lack of numbers, there was a strong group of players who always came out. Another problem was that the ball return machines were beginning to need work. In the long run, they would have had to be replaced, and at that time the cost of replacing them was questionable since interest dropped off. Reinhorn then had to face the flake from unhappy bowlers. He assured them that it was only a matter of time before 10-pin returned. The eastern section of Regina, was an excellent area to build another facility, relates Reinhorn. There isn't one facility east of Alberta. There was a need for a facility close to the suburban section. It was sort of a gamble to put 10-pin lanes in. I knew there would be interest, but how much was the question. I also had to look at the cost. And with just cause, for the 5-pin ball return unit costs $5,500 compared to the $18,000 10-pin return machine. Reinhorn weighed the pros and cons, dollars and cents, and when the Glencairn complex opened 6 weeks ago, completing a year and a half of construction, there were 14 10-pin lanes and 16 5-pin. Thus far, the lanes have been a hit. In addition to evening action, school groups have been taking to the lanes to learn the fine art of 10-pin bowling, and that is the only tip of the 10-pin bowling iceberg. Reinhorn estimates there will be more than 100 teams organized when the fall season arrives. To date, it's assured there will be league play 6 days of the week, with the men leading the way with 3 leagues consisting of 14 teams apiece. The women have 14 confirmed teams, as does the mixed league. The numbers are sure to increase when thoughts turn from the beaches and suntanning to the lanes and tossing balls. The facility alone should rejuvenate interest, says Reinhorn. At a cost of $2.75 million, Reinhorn, somewhat biased, mind you, ranks it as one of the top in the country. He bases his boastings on the layout and the upstairs dining area, which will overlook the lanes. There's also no lack of footwear, with 320 pairs of shoes ready to go into action. For knocking down those pins, there are 100 balls on hand, ranging from 9 to 16 pounds.